Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Lawrence James. In 2016, I married a cultist and spent 3 years in a toxic relationship. 7 years later, I have nearly a decade of experience and research into cult mind control and psychological manipulation. Today, we're talking recovery, and I'm going to talk to you about 3 paths not to take if you're coming out of a toxic environment and you are now on the path to recovery, looking to make yourself feel better and start living life on your own terms again. And I'm not going to pretend that I didn't go down these paths either. In fact, I went down all 3 of these paths, which delayed any sort of recovery or recuperation for at least 4 years. This is unfortunately the truth for a lot of people that come out of toxic relationships. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 dangerous paths to take to recovery. The first path is an obsession over the narcissist. When you come out of a toxic relationship, this is the moment that you are most vulnerable to walk straight into another one. When you log onto Twitter or YouTube and you search narcissistic recovery or how to get over my toxic ex, you will undoubtedly have seen the narcissist support groups. Okay, these groups look fantastic on the surface. They look wonderful. They look great. They look accommodating. You're going to feel part of something. You're going to feel safe. You're going to feel secure. But a lot of these groups, unfortunately, from experience, they are run by cluster B personalities themselves or individuals who have suffered from narcissistically abusive relationships and have not done any work to recover and have themselves highly elevated trait narcissism. And they are then going to project that into the group. The second reason that joining these groups is going to be potentially dangerous is that they are entirely focused on the narcissist. How to become the narcissist's worst nightmare, How to make the narcissist pay. How to torture the narcissist. 10 ways to make that, no fucking hell. I've got loads of them. And what this does is this perpetuates this false dichotomy of your relationship where the narcissist is the ultimate bad and you are the ultimate good. It's not that simple. This sort of black and white thinking is absolutely a hallmark of cult mind control and thought reform, something to be avoided or seen as a red flag. The second is not giving yourself enough self-care. So I want you to think of it like this. Imagine you're in a car accident. High impact, high speed, glass everywhere, screaming, injuries. Not everyone survived. The recovery period from that is extensive. And during that recovery, you find it very difficult to want to get behind the wheel of a car ever again. In fact, even talking about cars is uncomfortable to you and difficult for you to wrap your heart around. Okay? Now imagine that your clinicians, your doctors, your nurses have decided that the best course of treatment for you is to focus entirely on the event that caused that panic, that trauma, that anxiety around getting into a car. If every time you meet with a doctor and a nurse, it's about the fear, the panic, the terror that you felt in that moment, your recovery is not going to be good. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be enjoyable. It's not going to be empowering. And it's definitely not going to give you the tools and resources you need in order to start making decisions for yourself. This is called agency. This is called being a sovereign adult. This is where you need to get to. This is the end point of recovery. And even then, it's not a real end point. You've got to continue to work beyond this point to continue living as that sovereign adult. Which brings me on to number 3, professional help. I didn't get professional help. I didn't seek a therapist. I did seek a counselor. But after about 3 sessions, it was very clear to me that this woman wasn't actually going to be able to help me. She didn't have the experience or the knowledge that I was wanting to hear, and nor, quite frankly, did I feel comfortable enough sharing the sorts of things that I would have needed to share with her in order to get any benefit, any help from those sessions at all. And of course, with any of these therapies, they're all talk therapy. So they're only going to be as good as what you share. If you talk about anxiety, they're going to focus on that. If you talk about losing sleep, they're going to talk about the loss of sleep and the damage that can do and how to recover from that. Despite that, my advice would be, if you're coming from a toxic relationship or you're coming from a toxic environment at work or at home, you should seek professional help from a therapist, counselor, whichever it may be. But, and it's a big but, there's a significant caveat there, you should do your own research into narcissistic personality disorder, traits of narcissism, and the effect that it has on you first. As part of your looking for a therapist, a professional to help you, because it's going to be you that chooses who that person's going to be. You need to make sure that that person isn't going to cause more damage. Okay? Think about this. Clinicians, psychotherapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, counselors, these are all positions of authority. These are all positions where when you enter the room with, let's say, a psychiatrist, it's very clear from the people in the room who is the authority, who's going to be administering the information, administering the truth, and saying this is how it is. And the person coming in to receive the psychotherapy is the follower, is the disciple, is the one who's expected to accept that information as truth and to concede to the authority. These are prime positions for narcissistic personalities, psychopaths. You need to make sure that when you are selecting a therapist or a counselor, that this person, A, this individual specializes in narcissistic personality recovery, and B, that they have suffered narcissistic abuse in the past and have done significant work to recover from those traumas themselves. So I hope that's been helpful. There are 3 routes there that I went down that I'm hoping by sharing this with you, you guys don't have to do the same thing, because you don't need to be stuck feeling like this forever. You don't need to be trapped by the image of how they saw you. You are able to recover. It is inside you, that ability, because I truly believe that that ability to redesign a self, to then grow that new self and go on and live not just an okay, normal life, but live the life that you have truly dreamed of, is 100% possible. It is within you, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to take a lot of work. And hopefully this channel can help to make that whole process a lot more enjoyable and engaging. So ladies and gents, thank you so much for your time. I do hope you found that useful. If you did, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments as well what your thoughts were. And I do hope to see you on the next video. Until then, take care of yourself. All the best. Bye-bye.